Hello, everybody, and welcome to Level 38. This is a new podcast, a new video game discussion podcast, Level 38. This is the pilot episode, so bear with us because this shit is off the rails at this point. My name is Will Wood. I am the host of Level 38. Alongside with me is Sean McCann.
Hello there, Will. How's it going?
Good. You sound like a robot, so that's a good start.
It's a good start, yeah. I'm a little rough around the edges in the throat there, but I think I'll manage.
Awesome, cool. So basically, since this first episode, we'll kind of explain how it goes. It's going to be a video game discussion podcast. Every week, we'll have topics from the previous week in news. We'll talk about what we're interested in. We're not going to go over everything. It's going to be very PlayStation and Nintendo focused because that's kind of what we're both into. There may be a few other things in here and there. Of course, we are recording live on Twitch. So at some point, we will interact with the Twitch viewers as well. If you want to watch this show live, if you're listening on the audio, or if you're watching the video version of it, if you go to twitch.tv/WillJWood, you can watch us when we record the show live. Having said that, we're pretty much done the rigmarole here. If you want to follow anybody on Twitch, I am at Will J. Wood. Sean is at SmashBite, and the podcast can be found at Level 38 Podcast on Twitch. So that's basically that. So let's hop into it. How was your week? How was your first week of 2016?
It was alright. I just worked a lot, played a lot of games. Just been playing a lot of Oblivion. Picked that up for the first time, so I've never played it before.
So you've been playing that this week then, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Been killing a lot of people. Finally got into Dark Brotherhood. Oh, and nice. Got a cool unicorn. Killed everyone.
Are you big into Bethesda games, or?
I am. I was playing a lot of Fallout 4, and then kind of got out of it just because it's such a big game. But
I can't get into Fallout 4. I don't know what it is. Like, I loved 3 and I love New Vegas, but there's just something about 4 that I just. Maybe it's just because it's like too much of the same thing, but
it might just be because it's too big. There's a lot of landmarks. Like, I made sure to get all the landmarks first before I even touched the campaign. Now that I'm starting the campaign, I can kind of zip through everywhere, but it's just.
I think where it got me was the base building, because then I went and did it because I'm like, oh, I got to do this stupid thing, and then I spent like 2 hours or 3 hours on it, and I didn't even fucking like the base that I had at the end. So I'm just like, fuck this game. And then Star Wars Battlefront came out, and everything else came out, and then of course I started streaming on Twitch and stuff, so I just kind of fell out of it. But
yeah, makes sense.
But I have it on the shelf, so I go back to it someday. Cool, yeah. So there's been some news now for the first episode. We're gonna squeak back into 2015 a little bit, pick up a couple of news pieces from there, and then we're gonna move forward from that. Sure. We'll come up with a name for the news segment. I don't know what it is right now. It's just news segment. We'll come up with a name. We'll come up with a name for that. There's 19 pieces of news that we're going to talk about and discuss here. And then after that, if there's any Twitch comments, or if anybody out there wants to tweet anything for future episodes at Level 38 Podcast or to us that you want us to discuss, or comments that we can put on the podcast, we'll do that as well. So I have 19 pieces of news here. We'll just go through them and discuss them in no particular order.
All right.
Let's start with this one. So here's a news headline from this past week. The North American eShop update adds Light Gun Virtual Console to Nintendo Wii U library. So basically, some NES Zapper games are coming to the Nintendo Wii U.
Like Duck Hunt.
Yeah, so starting off, people can now purchase The Adventures of Bayou Billy, Hogan's Alley, or Wild Gunman for $4.99 each.
Not Duck Hunt.
Not Duck Hunt.
Right.
I'm sure Duck Hunt will come, though. And then I'm assuming that you'll need to have the Wii remote, the Nintendo Wii remote, to use it. Just like how, any of the light gun stuff was kind of done with the Wii remote. So you set up with the sensor bar and that kind of
Not
thing.
like a CRT monitor for
right. No, so it'll be all recalibrated and all set up for that. I think that's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think everyone's been waiting for that, actually. So.
Yeah, you'd think that was something that would have happened with the original Wii Virtual Console.
Yeah, they scrapped it. They were like, yeah, well, it's our processors, blah, 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 whatever, Nintendo excuse.
But it's cool. I think $5 is fine for the NES. I assume it'll fall into the same price point. Although there wasn't really much for the Super Nintendo or N64. There was like the Super Scope for Super Nintendo. So they could do like that Yoshi Super Scope game.
They could,
what it's called.
They could, yeah.
I'm surprised that they don't have Duck Hunt on there. You think Duck Hunt would be kind of
That'd
their
be number one.
headliner?
Yeah. And then you have like amiibo support or something, and then
Yeah, because they got Duck Hunt Dog and all that. So, but
tap them in, have them jump in. Laugh
but maybe
at
they're
you.
waiting for that, right? Because that would be the only one of those gun games that would have amiibo support. So
That
maybe
makes
they are
sense.
doing like a thing with
Maybe
that. So.
just kind of testing the waters.
That's interesting. So yeah, you have anything else on that or?
I don't really check the eShop too much. I don't own a Wii U anymore. I have a 3DS. I boot it up every once and again once a new game comes out, like Stella Glow, Legend of Heroes. Legend of Heroes? No, Legend of Legacy. My mistake. Play it for about 2 hours. I'm like, yeah, it's a good game. Close it. And that's about it. I do check the eShop often, just not really on sales. But it's good to note that they're adding more stuff to the Wii U. I give it more support. Coming with the NX announcement, hopefully in the next couple months, it'll hopefully have cross-buy support, kind of like what the PS4 and PS3 did.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff from the Wii U that Nintendo would be really smart to bring over to the NX. Like Mario Maker needs to be a
definitely.
staple of the NX because Mario Maker has legs for years, right? But if you keep it abandoned on the Wii U, I mean, it's shitty to say I'm a Nintendo fan, right? But the system's got, by the end of its life cycle, it'll be lucky if it gets much past 15 million units, right?
Yep.
So that is, and it's not a failure in the sense like Nintendo's got lots of money, they're good to go, whatever, but you are abandoning these titles sort of on this very small user base. So if the NX is a success, does pick up, is more compatible, or not compatible, but is more like competitive with some of the other features. They got to get that online stuff going. They have, and I think they have. We'll look more into it. We'll discuss it in a future episode. But I believe they said there is going to be some sort of like achievement system that they have for the NX going in.
It's bound to happen.
Because people care about it. I mean, not everybody cares about it, but like I care about trophies. You like.
I didn't
your
think I
trophies,
would,
right?
but I love it now. I'm stuck on it.
So they got to get that in there. But I mean the NX, I think, and we're gonna obviously hear about that this year.
Totally.
At E3. So, but no, it's cool. I'm glad to see that they are finally going back doing the light gun stuff. I think that's pretty cool. So let's move on here. So this headline, Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2, open multiplayer beta coming next week. So basically, it's pretty much what it sounds like. PlayStation 4, Xbox One are going to be kicking off an open beta for Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2. Let's see, what date does it come out? So the full game launches February 23rd, 2016, and the beta, it's coming right up. The beta will enable you to take 6 new Plants vs. Zombies character classes for a spin, as well as some of your old favorites from the first Garden Warfare. It doesn't give an exact date, but it'll be next week. It'll go on for 4 days for 4 maps and several modes to sample.
Several. That's also, is that not bigger than Battlefronts?
Yeah, Battlefront only had 2 maps.
That's great.
It had 2 out of the like fucking 12 maps of the full game.
So how many maps do you think are going to be in the full game for Garden Warfare 2 then? Because if they're showing off 7, clearly that's half of what they have in store.
Yeah, I'm not sure. How many did you play the original Garden Warfare? I have it on PS4.
Did not, but I played enough to know.
They gave it away free to everybody last year for like 1 day.
Oh, well.
It was during some thing.
Oh.
It was an EA thing, an EA celebration or whatever. But I bought the game on disc. It's a good game. It's your standard third-person online fare, but I like the colorfulness of it and that kind of stuff. So.
It looks very bright, this one.
I'm interested in Garden Warfare 2. However, the first Garden Warfare, one of the things that drew me to it was only a $40 title. And this one is now full $79.99 in Canada or $59.99 in the US title. And I think that's like they got to have a lot more content
than a multiplayer.
For it.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that person. I'll probably play the beta though. I'll check it out. I'll probably stream it on Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, like from what they've been telling us and what we've read in articles, like I can see it being a full-fledged game, like at $79, because like for a straight-up online game, like whether it be Titanfall or Call of Duty on last-gen consoles, like it has to be a cheap price. You're just gonna have an online base, so
not like Battlefront.
Not like Battlefront,
which is like $80 for the game, Canadian, of course we're Canadian, so $80, $60 for the game, and then $70 or $50 for the rest of the game that probably should have been there in the first place.
The expansion.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I think the gameplay in Battlefront is great. I do think it's a solid game. It does run its course.
I feel like it was rushed
yeah.
for what it was.
But I mean, it makes sense. You wanted to cash in on the hype of Force Awakens coming out so.
Before it came out, yeah.
Which Force Awakens was great, in my opinion.
Haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? No, I've seen it 3 times.
Oh my god, I'm gonna rewatch the once they've been having talks about re-releasing the unedited versions.
Oh, okay.
So I want to watch those ones and then go through.
Even though the unedited versions are not the canon versions.
Or, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I could do a whole podcast talking about Star Wars. So
well, I want to watch the originals for what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's move on. Next headline: Psychonauts 2 hits crowdfunding goal. I know a lot of people are really excited about this. I never played the original Psychonauts.
It's no surprise.
Did you play the original Psychonauts?
I did.
Yeah. So Double Fine's Psychonauts 2 pitch on crowdfunding site Fig. So they used Fig where you can actually
get money for donating.
So it's like an investment.
Yep.
Has exceeded its goal of $3.3 million. The game currently sits, at the time of this writing, which was today, earlier this morning, sits at $3.35 million with 5 days remaining.
Oh my god.
Now, what was its goal?
That I cannot remember, but it was in the millions, I believe.
Yeah.
1 or 2, maybe.
Let's see.
I don't know.
And then, of course, and then in addition to Psychonauts 2, Double Fine announced Psychonauts in the Rhombus of Ruin for PlayStation VR. They announced that at the Game Awards, I think.
Oh,
no, not the Game Awards. They announced it at PlayStation Experience. So it's pretty cool. I don't think there's any surprise there that they were going to hit their funding goal.
No, they were going to hit it no matter what.
People have been wanting a new Psychonauts. I never really got into the first one.
For years.
I assume that they'll probably do a remaster of the first one.
They're having talks about it.
Now that the second one's coming out, I can't see them not doing it.
They have to. I imagine like Steam will go through the roof with it, because that's currently on Steam right now. I think it's available on the 360 to buy digitally, so it's easily available to get if they added Xbox One support to it, so that's just as readily available. I'm not sure if it was on the PlayStation 3. It might be. I could be wrong. But yeah, they'll probably do an HD remake of that eventually. It has to happen. And that way people can just kind of get into it.
Totally. And I'll probably check it out then. So
yeah.
So Psychonauts 2 coming. So they still got 5 days left. So they'll probably get I don't know how many stretch goals they've hit at that point. Let me take a look.
I imagine they'll hit 1 or 2.
Let's take a look at their stretch goals and what their because this works differently than Kickstarter, so I'm not totally used to the way this looks. But yeah, so well, here's the post that they updated. So Psychonauts 2 is 100% fully funded. Holy smokes, we did it, guys! Psychonauts 2 is now fully funded. We want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for making this possible. So the standard, what you would put. I don't see a spot for stretch goals here. Oh, rewards maybe. Sorry, I'm not used to the layout.
I don't think it'll be on the rewards. It'll probably be on their main screen page.
About what was their goal? What was their... I don't know. I can't. Anyway, but you guys can check it out if you're more interested in it. But yeah, so they hit their goal. So there you go.
That's good.
So good for them. So the game's coming. It's always good to have more games coming.
Yep. Yeah, probably won't happen until like 2017.
No, I know. And there's a lot of Kickstarter games. Like I'm really excited for Yooka-Laylee.
Indivisible is gonna be a thing.
Yeah, which I had the little concept thing they put on PS4.
Yep.
Bloodstained.
Yep.
Super excited for that too. So
good old Castlevania games.
Shenmue 3.
Shenmue 3. Yep. They just updated their website, I believe, about that too.
Yeah, my cat's running around in the background. Sorry.
Yeah,
he's just a psycho.
Going a little crazy over there.
Okay, so let's get into this one. So let's talk about this one's about PlayStation Now. So this comes from the PlayStation blog. It's put up a couple of days ago. Happy New Year, PlayStation fans. 2016 is going to be an incredible year for the PlayStation Now community. To kick things off, we've added more than 40 PS3 console exclusives to the expanded library of games with 100 plus PS3 exclusives and more than 300 PS3 games to choose from. You'll now have more games than ever before in the PlayStation Now subscription library to discover or rediscover this year. So it's cool that they've added a bunch of new games to it. when PlayStation Now first came out, of course, it was underwhelming for what people thought it was going to be.
Yeah, definitely. I did not like it.
Then they came up with the sort of subscription service,
Yes.
which is basically like Netflix for video games. And it was cool. Of course, there were still a bunch of games that weren't available in the subscription part.
Yes.
That were only available separately. But they've been adding more games to it. It looks like their library is pretty good. I've looked through it myself.
It's getting bigger. They have Capcom support now.
And then they did last month, or a couple months ago in November, they announced a 12-month subscription for $99.99, which is great because it's $100 for 12 months. You're basically at the price of Netflix now, so it's like $8, $8 and 30 cents a month. That's the perfect price point.
Yes.
Then this blog comes out, mentions that they're adding all these extra games to it, but this is a limited time price. So the $99 for 12 months is going away on January 11th. It was a limited time price. Now this to me is like, why are you doing this? You finally had shit working.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna take it away? Like you can't, because people didn't want it. At what was the other price points for like?
It was
$20 a month, I think.
$20 a month
is
roughly,
what it was looking
or you could like rent a game for like, I don't know, $3 for 4 hours depending on the game. It was stupid.
Yeah, because I think it was for the subscription stuff. I mean, yeah, the individual stuff is dumb. But for the subscription stuff, the only service that makes any sense, it was $20 a month, $19.99 a month, or you could do 3 months, which broke down to $15 a month. Which still, but then they came out with this $8 a month. It's Netflix pricing. It's perfect. Now they're taking it away.
Yeah, it was a bad idea. Whoever did that probably at first was like, oh, we figured it out. We finally know our pricing. Let's gauge it from there. And then people were probably happy about it, thinking about it, going down the road. And then, Sony PR probably was like, why are we doing this? We're losing money now. And based on whatever contracts that they have with other game developers or whatever team they're working with, EA, Capcom, whatever, they must have to pay them more to hold those games there.
Yeah.
So that's probably why their yearly costs are so high.
I think what's going to happen is, and the thing is, they keep adding games to it every month, right? I think the service can be saved.
Yep.
I think there's certain things they need to do. I think at some point it'd be great if they could find a way to be like, if you stick in a PS3 disc into your PS4, if that game is available on the server, you can play that.
Yeah.
For free. You can stream it for free. I think that'll come. It's going to be it. Well, see, now that makes it, this whole thing, because it's all about competition with Xbox at this point, right? And then Xbox came out last E3 and they dropped the bomb of backwards compatibility. And they had and all the, like, in terms of first party exclusives, Xbox had the stronger lineup of first party exclusives this fall. PlayStation still fucking crushed them, which I knew they would.
Yeah.
Which goes to show, so I think at this point, Xbox One is never going to be able to catch up to PS4, because PS4 moving forward now, PS4 is coming out with exclusive after exclusive after exclusive. 2016 is jam-packed full of first-party exclusives.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's a matter of, did the backwards compatibility with Xbox One really shift that much? Did it make big enough waves? Does PlayStation need to give a shit about that? I don't necessarily think that they do. So I don't think that they have to go. They might do it for fan service or to help out their fan base, because PlayStation is pretty good with that.
Yeah.
But they don't have to now. And now with the PS2 games coming out with the 1080p support and the trophy support, I think that they might be okay with that.
That's a game changer.
What I think is going to happen with this 12-month subscription for $100 is they're going to take it away.
Yep.
The subscription rate is going to drop off.
Yeah.
Because it's been getting higher now, right? With this $99. And then by E3, they're going to bring it back. And that's going to be a standard pricing. So I do think the $99 for 12 months is going to be a standard pricing. I think it's going to come back. They're taking it away to see, how that'll work, and then they'll probably bring it back.
I can see it happening. I can also see them dropping the whole backwards compatibility thing as well. The one thing I don't like about backwards compatibility in general is Microsoft's way of doing it is, to me, it's silly. Having the disc in there just as a license, just to download the game onto your hard drive, is stupid, in my opinion. What's the point of having physical games if you're just going to download it anyway?
Well, I think the disc being in there is to regulate that you do own the disc. But at that point, you could just borrow the disc from your friend.
Borrow the disc from your friend, or rather, buy the game digitally at that point.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, you don't have to buy it digitally, right? Because if you already have the disc sitting on your shelf, you don't have to pay the $10.
It still needs to download onto your hard drive, though.
Yeah, but I think it's more, for most people, it's a matter of not having to pay to play your games again. And people bitch and complain about that all the time. Like I see all kinds of bitching and complaining about the PS2 classics coming out on PS4 with the trophies and all this stuff. Like, well, why the hell do I have to pay $10-15 for this game again? Well, it's like, first of all, fucking entitlement is insane. But it's like you don't have to. It's not the same game. When you bought that disc in 2002, I'm pretty sure you didn't have them. Oh fuck! In 2016 on my PlayStation 4, I better fucking be able to play this game. No, that's not how it works. There is no. PlayStation, Sony is not in any way indebted to you to let you play your old games. The fact that they're bringing this new stuff out, and it is different because 1080p, 60 frames per second, and trophy support.
The upscales.
There's a lot of people who don't care about trophy support, but there's a lot of us who do.
Yeah.
So if you don't care about it, you have your disc. Well, then break out your PS2, fucking stick it in there, and play it there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're paying for it is a new version of the game. That would be like saying, oh, the remasters that come out on PS4, I should get those for free. Well, why? They are different. There are new stuff.
There was still time put into fixing that game.
One thing I will say is that if PS2 classics are coming out on PS4, the same ones that already existed on PS3, if you've already downloaded it and paid money to download the digital version on PS3, I don't think that you should get it for free, but it would be nice if they did something like Nintendo does when they did the Virtual Console from Wii to Wii U.
Yeah.
And if you already owned the Virtual Console version for Wii, you could download the Wii U version for like $1.50.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
So that would be nice. So, and obviously the PS2 classics are worth more. They're more expensive than a lot of those games. So maybe, if a $15 PS2 game, you already own it on PS3 digitally.
Yeah.
Maybe you pay $3.50, $4 to download the PS4
Well,
version.
it's like what they did with the PSP versus going, I think when they moved it from the PSP to the PSP Go, there was an option to do that.
Yeah. And when the Vita first came out, there was an option in Europe and Japan that you could move your PSP games over from the UMD. But it didn't come out in North America.
No.
Which pissed me off because I still have a copy of Extreme Ghosts and Goblins sitting on my fucking shelf.
I saw that, yeah. That's a hard game to find too. I don't even think that's...
And I can buy it on Vita for $10, but I don't want to because I have it right there on my shelf.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm kind of up and down. We do have a couple comments from Twitch regarding what we were saying. So, Knowledge Mac says, Sony is turning into Microsoft, and Microsoft is trying to do anything to get people to buy Xbox. These companies are just sucking as much money out of us until VR games start to blow up. It's a valid opinion. I don't necessarily agree with it. In terms of, like, obviously, I agree that Microsoft is they're desperate at this point.
Definitely.
Huge.
Have you seen that virtual reality thing that they have with, like, the Minecraft that they showed off at E3?
Yeah. No, that was cool. The HoloLens.
Yeah, the HoloLens.
That looked cool. I'm excited for VR. We'll get into that. We don't have any VR topics for this week, so we'll talk about it a little bit. I'm excited for VR. Obviously, it's going to be a huge push on 2016. I'm excited for PlayStation VR. I have used VR, so I've used the headsets. I do believe in it. I think it's great technology. Oculus Rift came out with their pricing this week of $600. There's no way in hell that PlayStation VR is going to be that much.
I think it'll be
400. 400 tops. I think it's between 3 and 4. American. Might be more in Canada. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see. Anyway, Mr. IDK996, I don't think VR games will explode like most people think they will. I don't know. It's hard to say. Now, I'm not going to talk about Oculus Rift because I think Oculus Rift and PlayStation VR are in two very different spaces.
I agree.
Oculus Rift is more for PC stuff. It's going to be a lot of application-based stuff as well. Obviously, Facebook has a lot of stuff going on with that.
Because they own them.
And then, of course, Microsoft has that partnership with Oculus Rift, although my understanding is that you don't actually get to play VR games. You basically get to sit in a virtual theater and play games on a big screen.
Great.
So it's like...
That's not what I want.
No. PlayStation VR, I think, has the best chance to succeed because I think it has that benefit of being backed by a dedicated game console. And I do believe that from the interviews that I've heard from Shuhei Yoshida, who, of course, is in charge of all the first-party studios at PlayStation, and all that, they do seem like they are really putting a lot behind it. PlayStation Experience, obviously, they put a lot into that this year. So I'm skeptical, but I think that it has a good chance of succeeding. What they have to do, and what PlayStation, to their credit, seems to be doing, is putting a lot of games behind it.
Yes.
Because that's what's going to sell it, is the games.
Yeah.
Of course, we've seen the final retail unit. It looked like there's a little box. It looks like a mini PS4. It's very cute.
I just like the the interface. And
yeah,
the
the
goggles,
glasses, they look cool.
They look really good.
They look way better than Oculus Rift,
and
in my opinion.
It's built from day one to support PS4, especially now they announced like a while ago that the light on the PS4 is built for VR support.
Yeah.
That's what it was meant for. That's why you can never turn it off.
And then you've got PlayStation Move as well. So then that's what I'm curious. Are they going, because you have to have the PlayStation camera. Now, I already have the PlayStation camera, and I have all the Move controllers and everything because I bought those for the PS3. So I'm set. What I'm wondering is because you can't fucking find Move controllers anywhere in the wild anymore.
No.
So are they going to repackage that? Are they going to come out?
I feel like they're going to
Probably
remake it into something different.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
That's what I think.
that was a bit of a diversion off of the PlayStation Plus subscription service, but that's good. We got some good topics in. So here's the next topic. Doom's June release date seemingly outed by retailer. The latest in a succession of leaked dates by retailers. It looks like Amazon France has leaked the date for Bethesda's Doom, previously tentatively scheduled for release in 2016. According to a product listing on Amazon France, Doom will be out in June 2016.
That's exciting.
Twitter user MasterGamer24680 took a screen grab of the listing before it was removed. It's also worth noting that the same retailer also posted a January 28th, 2016 release date for Rise of the Tomb Raider on PC, which turned out to be right on the money.
Mm-hmm.
So the date is June 30th, 2016, which you'd think, off. And what date is that? Let's see, June 30th, 2016. Now that sounds like a placeholder date, except for the fact. Because there's 30 days in June. So June 30th is a Thursday. That's guaranteed a placeholder date.
Sounds like it.
Because it would release on a Tuesday or maybe a Friday. Maybe a Sunday, but it would not release on a Thursday.
No,
So
I can't see releasing on Thursday.
So June could be the month, but that's a placeholder date. So there's not really much more to say about that other than we know Doom is coming out this year.
Yeah.
Looks like summertime. That would put it right around E3. Which makes a lot of sense. A lot of games like to launch around E3 now to capitalize on the hype there.
For sure.
I could see that being a thing. Now, Bethesda, I don't think is going to have a conference at E3 this year. I think that was that was for last year because they had a lot of stuff to announce.
Yeah.
I don't see them doing a conference. They'll have a presence at E3.
Yeah.
I could see them walking out on either the Microsoft or PlayStation stage. Probably PlayStation at this point because I know Doom or Fallout 4 sold way better on PlayStation 4 than Xbox One.
Yeah.
So I could see that being the case, and I could, E3, you've always got to have that, and it's out today moment, right?
Oh, man.
This week. So I can see Bethesda coming out and saying, and Doom is out today.
Oh my God.
Or this week, or next week, right?
Yeah.
So I can see that being.
If it came out today, that'd probably surprise a lot of people. It'd probably be like, it'll be out tomorrow, and then all these retailers will have these mysterious boxes, and there'll be Doom inside.
Yeah. That could be a possibility.
Yeah.
So that's good news. Next, by the way, all these articles are coming. The news sources that I get from are PlayStation Trophies, Silicon Era, and PlayStation Blog is mostly where I get the news from. So in case anybody wants to look up where I'm getting these from. Anyway, next title: A Boy and His Blob, coming to PlayStation 4 this month, as well as Xbox One and PC.
I never played it.
So Boy and His Blob, of course, was an NES game.
Yes.
Then they did. It was kind of a sleeper hit. It was like those who played it loved it. I have friends that really loved it. I played it as a kid. I didn't really get it. It's almost like one of those games you kind of have to use a walkthrough to figure out.
Like Toe Jam and Earl.
Sort of. But Toe Jam and Earl was procedurally generated, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the first Toe Jam and Earl was procedurally generated. It was one of the first. Anyway.
Yeah.
The basis of the game is you play this boy and his blob.
Okay.
The blob is from Blobalonia. I love the names in this game.
Okay.
So he comes down to Earth, and then the boy has all these jelly beans, and you throw a jelly bean at the blob, and depending on the type of jelly bean you throw, he turns into different things. So he'll turn into like a little pit that you fall through, so you can fall through the platforms. He'll turn into a ladder, so you can climb up and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So a reimagining of this game came out for the Wii. That already came out a few years ago. It was like a retail disc that you got, and now they're doing a digital version of that for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It's coming out January 19th, 2016, so in like a week.
A week or two.
A
week.
So that's cool. I think that's awesome. There's no price point for it yet.
$15.99, I could say.
You think $15.99?
$15.
They're gonna go $1 over the $14.99.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck convention.
Yeah,
We're putting an extra $1 in there.
I could say, yeah.
So you don't see $19.99?
I don't know about like a remaster. They have all the rights to say $19.99, but it's either gonna sit at $14.99 or $15.99. That's what I'm gonna think. But
All right.
knowing remasters and like Grim Fandango being
So your personal prediction for the PlayStation, because it's not out yet, I checked. Trophy list. Platinum or no?
if it's a remaster, I could see it being a platinum.
I think it'll have a platinum.
Yeah.
I think platinum, and I think $19.99.
Well,
But I hope you're right.
It better be $14.99.
Because $14.99 or even $15.99 is better than $19.99.
Yeah, for sure. If not, wait till it goes on sale, or they'll have a deal which they've had in the past where it's get 10% off or whatever for the first week. They did that with Final Fantasy, and they did that with
Yeah, that was great.
a couple PS2 games. I think Parappa the Rapper 2 was 10 or 15% off or something.
Yeah. Oh, Final Fantasy 7 was a weird. It was like 27% or something. So it was like
Yeah.
it was like 1087.
Yeah.
It was like this weird amount of percentage.
I immediately bought it, and I didn't even know it came with
Oh, the theme.
the theme.
Yeah,
with,
everybody's
like,
PS4
Midgar.
has that fucking theme now. All my friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that theme. Playing Aerith's theme. Next item on the docket here. PlayStation 4 sales approaching 36 million. So this broke earlier this week. So Sony has revealed that it sold 5.7 million PlayStation 4 consoles over the last 6 weeks of 2015, meaning that the total worldwide sales of the platform are now approaching 36 million. So to date, the figure stands at 35.9 million, which is fucking weird because it's like, just wait a couple of days and then tell us when it's 36 million. But whatever.
They wanted to wait for those Boxing Days. So
I think it's hilarious the fact that like you look at the total reversal, right? So look at Microsoft. Microsoft historically with their Xbox has been all about fucking sales numbers.
Yeah.
Putting them all out there. They won't release sales numbers for the Xbox One.
No, it's
and
not selling.
But that is so telling because it's like you're not releasing the numbers because you know they're fucking suck.
Well, yeah.
So it's interesting, and then PlayStation can't stop talking about their numbers. But honestly, at this point, it is on pace to be up there with the best-selling consoles of all time. It could be the new best-selling console of all time.
Yep.
So that's cool. I think another thing to note, which is really cool, is that, and we touched on this a little bit already, but the fact that this past November, going into Black Friday and all that stuff, this was kind of, in my opinion, Xbox One's last chance to sort of close the gap.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they had everything going for them. They had the backwards compatibility. They had sales all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
They had like huge Black Friday sales. It
was a massive deal for Xbox
Tomb Raider. They had Halo 5. Halo 5 is their fucking Uncharted, right?
I would say Rise of the Tomb Raider was going to be their Uncharted.
No,
their
yes. Sorry, in terms of the type of games I meant, but I meant like whereas Uncharted is PlayStation's sort of like flagship title.
Oh, okay.
Halo is Xbox's flagship title, right? Okay. So that's what I mean by their Uncharted.
And it didn't do so well.
Well, I mean, it did fine, but it didn't do.
Story sucked.
It did, well, okay. Well, I haven't played it, but
yeah, story sucked.
but I'm talking sales. Like it did fine sales wise, but there was some complaints and shit like that. But they had that. They had Forza, like, and PlayStation had nothing for exclusives whatsoever, really. Yeah. Like their biggest exclusive outside of like the Uncharted, Nathan Drake collection, which is awesome, by the way. Just fucking buy that because it's all through. Okay, well
I already have them all on PlayStation.
Okay,
2,
but if you've never played them and you have PS4, you fucking buy that
immediately.
But anyway, so they had. I think their biggest exclusive for the fall was Until Dawn, which came out in August. It was a great game, and I do think that PlayStation kind of fucked up on their marketing for that. But I mean, it makes sense why they wouldn't expect it to be huge. I think for sure the Order 1886 kind of burned them earlier this year. So
yeah,
which I found during Boxing Day, you could pick that game up for like $10 everywhere. But no, it's good. PlayStation 4 sales are really healthy. The Xbox One sales are still good. They're still doing better than Xbox 360 did at this point in the generation. Definitely. They're just not going to catch PS4. No. But it's nice to see, in general, that the console, because every generation everybody spells, this is the last console generation and consoles are going away. And then this console generation comes out and it's like, well, fuck all that.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is the fact that everybody's been saying for years that this, right here is going to replace gaming. And we've been saying, fuck you, no it's not.
Yeah, it could eventually. So.
But people don't want to play dedicated games on this thing.
No,
this is for your
not.
Candy Crush and your fucking Game of War.
Yeah.
And if you like that shit, go, it's fine. Go fucking play that stuff. I don't care. But, I'm never going to be playing the next Uncharted game on my phone. So.
But what happens if you're using that as a remote, though?
Well, then they're going to have to make the iPhone bigger. The iPhone 6 Plus just isn't big enough.
I'm not in charge of that.
I'm going to need the iPhone 6 Mega Plus.
Mega Plus or a tablet.
Or you just go out and get the iPad Pro.
I mean, you
fucking
could.
iPad Pro's like, now that, it's like a fucking TV screen.
What about shoulder pads?
Well, you got like third party. We gotta get Hori on this shit, man, or fucking Nyko.
Or any third party.
Yeah, where's Nyko on this? All right, next piece of news. Watch Dogs 2 to launch this year, set in San Francisco, with a question mark. Tucked away in the latest Assassin's Creed rumors is a tasty little tidbit about the next Watch Dogs game. According to a Kotaku source, Watch Dogs 2 will release this year and be set in San Francisco. The outlet was able to provide no more information on that. The news comes as rumors begin to swirl that Assassin's Creed will skip this year, returning in 2017 with an Egypt-set game currently codenamed Empire. Kotaku in its source believes that Watch Dogs 2 could plug the gap. A possible Ubisoft substitution for this fall's big Assassin's Creed could be Watch Dogs 2, which we hear will be out later this year and set in San Francisco. I forgot to quote an end quote on that. Said the site. The original Watch Dogs launched in 2014. Broadly similar to Assassin's Creed, the game is a third-person open-world action adventure with stealth elements. The twist is a modern-day setting, blah, blah, blah. Did you play Watch Dogs?
Nope, because... Well, one, I just didn't have the time. By the time I actually got to it, and two, by the time the reviews rolled in and the gameplay that I did see, it didn't look that great. Multiplayer-wise, I heard it was decent, from what a lot of people were saying. But it was just a game that never really appealed to me. The first initial trailer looked great. You could hack in other devices, get away. Like, escape routes were cool. You could sneak in, like, buildings. It was a modern Assassin's Creed. That's what it was to me. But once it actually was released, the graphics weren't up to par for PlayStation 4, which they originally showed off at E3, which were just PC graphics, and they weren't telling anybody about it. That really got me off board for Watch Dogs. Like, anytime that a PR goes wrong, or they're lying about something, or if they're just making jokes about it, or just lying about their product, I will refuse to buy it after that. It's bad marketing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I agree. I picked up Watch Dogs for $20. I got it like super cheap before. I don't even think it's gotten that cheap yet. I got Shoppers Drug Mart was selling like that. I got that and Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition on PS4 for like $20 each. This was back in like 2014.
That's really good.
I got super good deals on them. I didn't fucking play either of them, but
great.
But I bought them. I played, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of Watch Dogs. It's just not my thing. Assassin's Creed isn't my thing either.
That's probably why then.
But but what I think with Watch Dogs 2 is it could be that thing of like Assassin's Creed, where the first Assassin's Creed comes out, it's got great ideas, but it doesn't really quite come together. Assassin's Creed 2 comes out, improves everything. Assassin's Creed 2, from what I hear, I haven't played it, is a great game.
Assassin's Creed 2 and that whole trilogy, the whole Ezio trilogy is amazing. I don't know if the gameplay would really hold up compared to Black Flag and Syndicates, but the story itself is amazing.
Yeah. So I think Watch Dogs 2 has potential to come out and be everything the first game was supposed to be.
Yes.
And I also think that it's very smart on them to take a year off of Assassin's Creed.
Definitely, and that's a good idea. I'm not sure if it's a 2 or 3 year cycle that they go through with Assassin's Creed games, but having that extra year, they'll be able to polish it. They'll be able to work out everything. Syndicate, from what I heard, didn't have a lot of big bugs, and it also wasn't as wrecked as Unity was. But if it's the same team that worked on Black Flag that's working on this one, it's going to be a stellar game. It's going to be a game that I've wanted an Assassin's Creed game to be for a long time. So,
good.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
All right. This one is about Nintendo, sort of. Game of Life Yokai Watch Edition and Yokai Watch Monopoly Junior let you live in Springdale this spring. So Yokai Watch, of course, is it's a level 5 game.
Level 5 is an amazing company.
Yes. Absolutely. Dark Cloud.
Dark Cloud.
Dark Cloud 2 is coming out sometime this year on PS4.
Oh,
Fucking excited for that. I still got to get Dark Cloud on PS4.
you need to get it. It's amazing.
Ni no Kuni. Ni no Kuni 2 is coming out on PS4.
That was announced.
Super excited about that.
They also have another game that they're announcing this year.
Right. And then they did Odin Sphere too, right? No,
No.
that was Atlas. Never mind. So anyway, Yokai Watch, super huge in Japan. It's, you know, on the 3DS.
They also did Professor Layton.
Right. Yes. Yokai Watch is super huge in Japan. It's like sort of their take on a Pokemon-ish type thing.
Yes.
Did
Did very well.
Yes. It's come out here. We don't really know how well it's done here yet because it hasn't really, you know, Pokemon took a while to take off as well.
It's selling well.
Nintendo, of course, is publishing it
Mm-hmm.
in here in North America. They're treating it like a first-party title.
Yeah.
So it was only a matter of time before Yokai Watch, Monopoly, and all this stuff started coming out. Because they make a Monopoly of everything. There's like fucking 4 different Pokemon versions of Monopoly. But basically, the article says plenty of video games end up getting themed board games. There have been the Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, Super Mario editions of Monopoly. I have the Nintendo edition of Monopoly in my closet.
Like 50 different Monopoly games.
I just don't fucking play Monopoly anymore. But
Yeah, right.
this spring, Yokai Watch will be getting 2 board games of its own. Hasbro released the Game of Life Yokai Watch Edition and Yokai Watch Monopoly Junior. So there's not really a whole lot to say about that, except that the Game of Life version will cost only $20 and the Monopoly Junior will cost $14.99. This seems a little cheaper than I would expect. These are American prices, but
So it'll be about like $5-10 more than here.
yeah, but you're looking at like $25 and $25 and $20 respectively. So that seems cheaper than I would expect it to be because a lot of those theme things usually tend, but that's MSRP. It could be obviously more in the stores.
Yes.
But I think like the Nintendo version of Monopoly is like fucking $60. So
Yeah, the Halo one's like 50.
but of course that's Monopoly Junior, so it's not the same thing as full version Monopoly. But there wasn't really a lot to say about that other than the fact that I think that is a sign of Yokai doing well.
Definitely.
In North America.
Yep.
So that's good. And things succeeding, whether you like them or not, whether it's your thing or whatever, things succeeding is always fucking good for the industry.
Definitely.
In general. So be happy when stuff succeeds, even if you don't like it.
Especially for level 5.
Right?
They need to make more games.
Now, I'm happy that PlayStation is succeeding because I'm a PlayStation person. And I'm a Nintendo person. I used to be an Xbox person, but they lost me with a lot of the stuff they do. And what comes down to now, I will say that Phil Spencer has been turning Xbox around quite a bit.
Yes.
I like what they're doing there. I think that they're doing well. I'm happy that Xbox is listening to people and turning stuff around.
Yes.
I don't care about Xbox at this point for no other reason than the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are so similar in what they do.
Yep.
PlayStation 4 does do things better.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. Like, it's a more powerful system. And what comes down to is games. There are no games, there are no exclusives on Xbox that I personally care about.
I agree.
They're all on the PlayStation.
Yep.
So for me, I like the PlayStation doing so well because that brings more stuff to PlayStation. However, Xbox doing well is good for PlayStation fans as well because it breeds competition. The better the industry, the more the more vitality the industry has in general. It's just better
Longevity
for the gaming industry.
Yeah.
So that's why it sucks that Nintendo is kind of doing poorly. I personally love Nintendo. I wish, for me, truly, I wish that Nintendo would go third party and make games for like PlayStation.
They should. They're slowly going that way with like going onto the mobile platform, but
it's just that that's where their strength is. You know, making games.
Yeah, the first party games is what's selling them, and that's what's selling their consoles right now. The second Twilight Princess HD was announced, people went crazy over it.
Yeah.
So regardless that it's an 5-6-year-old game, I don't remember, but it's a really like old game in terms of generation wise. It was the end of the lifespan for the GameCube, and it was the beginning for the Wii. That game's coming out. It got poor reception, but now it's getting like crazy news about it. People want Twilight Princess now, so it doesn't make sense why Nintendo shouldn't share a little bit of that. They would sell more. That'd probably give them more room for third-party developers to kind of jump in on Nintendo. They're like, all right, well, if you give us some of your assets, like, let us know what we're working with. We can make games for you. That'll probably sell more. That'll probably get them like off their feet than they have been in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo's obviously a very stubborn company as well with their IP, and I think that they've said in the past something along the lines of, we would just shut our shit down
Yeah.
before we'd ever let it go on other consoles. I think that was an old way of thinking that I think they've started to get rid of.
Yeah.
The mobile move is a sign of that.
Yeah.
I personally hope the NX is very successful. I want the NX. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not I've always been like, yes, every new console. I got the Wii U on launch, got the Wii on launch, got the GameCube on launch. Like, I've always been, and the, like N64 and stuff I got, but I didn't have my own money at that point to buy stuff, because I was still a kid. But NX is the first system where I'm like, I'm not ready to just go out and buy it. You've got to make me want it, Nintendo.
I want it if the new Zelda's on there. If the new Zelda's on there, I'll buy it. And I probably won't buy it right away, but I'll probably pick up the game and wait until the NX is a little bit cheaper, probably holidays. But I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. So we've been running for about 51 minutes here. We're gonna aim for about an hour long episode.
Yeah, no,
hour to an hour and a half maybe. I have to get my recording stuff figured out. So we're gonna try an hour for the pilot episode.
We're
so
at
I've
52
already
now. So
I've already nixed some of the topics here.
Okay.
Keeping it more to. Although I think it's been good. I think it's been a good show. For our first show.
Thank you.
And it seems like the Twitch commenters are interacting and liking it too.
Thank you.
Let's do this one. This is a short one. Final Fantasy 1 and 2, Super Mario 64 DS, and more releases for Wii U Virtual Console in Japan. So Nintendo released several classic titles for the Wii U Virtual Console in Japan today. This was yesterday, January 6th.
It's too many. With
Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Advance, Super Mario 64 DS, which is for the original DS, Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Advance for Game Boy Advance, Mario Kart 64, so that's coming natively to Wii U, and Super Mario World. I thought Super Mario World was already on North America.
I thought it was that
time. But anyway, what I'm more interested in, also there's some girl and some dude yelling outside my apartment.
People screaming.
What I'm more interested specifically is Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Advance and Super Mario 64 DS.
Yeah.
I want to see more original DS games come out. I don't think either of those are out in North America yet. So
not that I've seen.
I would assume that those games will be coming to North America as well.
Yes.
It's just a matter of time. Super Mario 64 DS, I think, specifically is one that I really want to pick up.
Yep.
Because I do think it is the superior version of Super Mario 64.
I agree.
However, it'll be nice to play it with an actual fucking analog stick.
Yeah.
And not some fucking thumb pad that you put across a touchscreen.
Yeah.
So
hurt yourself.
So I hope that they've gone in and tweaked that a little bit to work natively with an actual joystick.
Maybe it depends on like what their sense of porting games are with the Nintendo eShop, like whatever they did with back on the Wii or the Virtual Console in general. I didn't see them remastering it or making any changes. It was still the original game, so unless they do like a Sony rev.
But then you've got what we talked about earlier with the light gun games coming out.
Yes.
And they've obviously gone in and reworked those to work with the Wii Remote. So
That's
it's
true.
not something outside of the possibility of what they might do.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So we got a couple more. I want to end on the PlayStation Plus titles, but here's one. So this is pretty cool. I don't know if you played the original Odin Sphere or not.
I didn't.
Which is an Atlas game. Dragon's Crown, of course, is sort of the spiritual kind of successor to that.
Yes.
But Odin Sphere had a cooler setting, in my opinion.
Had a following.
So Atlas is releasing Odin Sphere Leftreiser, which I'm probably saying that wrong, in Japan next week. So that's the sequel to Odin Sphere, which is pretty cool. And they announced that they'll also have a demo for the game starting tomorrow. This is on January 7th. So tomorrow in Japan, which would be probably tonight, here in North America, featuring all 5 playable characters. So for those of you like myself, and I'm sure you do too, who have a Japanese account on their PlayStation, this is not a PS4 game. It's PlayStation 3 and Vita, so you won't be able to play the demo on Vita. Yeah, because it's fucking locked accounts. Fucking bullshit. I love the Vita.
It's a great console, and I have one.
But goddamn, why'd they fucking lock those accounts?
I thought it was only locked to the memory card.
It is, but there's no way to because on PS3 or PS4 you can download a game on your Japanese account, then play it on your North American account. Yeah, can't do that on Vita. Yeah, which for me is like, I can't get the trophies.
That's true.
It's a problem for me. Yeah. So, and I don't want to switch memory cards out. But anyway, not only switching memory cards out, but then you have to reset the firmware every time and reset it up. Oh. But if you go on PS3, you get your Japanese account, you can download the demo of Odin Sphere. I'll probably stream that on Twitch. So that was cool. I'm sure that game will come stateside at some point.
It is.
Because have they announced that already?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gotten the storybook edition, which is the
Oh, you pre-ordered
bigger.
it.
Oh yeah, totally. It's a big storybook version that's coming with the game. I believe it's PlayStation 4 is. I'm probably wrong. It's either PlayStation 4 or PS3. I've forgotten. That's getting the storybook edition. The rest of the console versions that are coming out are getting the standard editions of the game. So I've locked down my pre-order of the collector's edition. It's running at I think $99 here.
Okay.
So it's gonna be like probably 78 something in the States. That was immediately sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as that was announced. So I managed to get a hold of that. I think it's coming out in the next couple months here.
Yeah, it's coming out January, in Japan, January 14th. So it's like next week.
So like North America though, like February, March.
Oh, really? Like
Yeah,
that soon?
It's pretty soon.
So it's like coming right behind.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna
Or
download the
June.
demo
I don't
anyway.
know. I'm probably wrong.
So we got a couple more things to go over real quick. We're gonna do 3 more stories real quick. We're gonna try to rapid fire through these, and then
Yeah.
we'll talk to the Twitch a little bit, and then we're gonna go. This one I thought was kind of cool. It's just sort of a fluff piece, but it's kind of cool.
Oh, fluff.
Blind gamer successfully completes Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. So one incredible
about
gamer, did you? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
only reading about this for the time. One incredible gamer has accomplished the unthinkable and has beaten the Nintendo 64 classic Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, all while being completely blind. Terry Garrett began his inspiring feat back in 2011, and 5 years later, with a few hiatuses, he has finally finished the game. Understandably, the achievement was the product of much trial and error, as Garrett relied only on interpreting the various sounds, whether they were from walls, enemies, or the rest of the environment, as they were played through speakers placed directly in front of him.
Yeah.
To experience Garrett's journey from start to finish, you can visit his YouTube channel, where his entire playthrough is available in a series of videos. What is his YouTube channel? I don't know. I'll try to link it in the when we put the stuff on YouTube for the video podcast.
Yeah,
I'll
dude.
try to link
It's probably
It is, but it's
that
like
one.
a hyperlink. So
yeah.
I don't have a link to type.
Yeah, you hooked up 2 speakers right up to, I wouldn't say right up to his face, but like pretty close to him, so that way coming from left and right side, so he could hear both things. It was a really cool setup that he had. It's really amazing that he did that.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Like just to like you just figure out the sounds of it and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. That's pretty awesome. Which is great to hear. It's very inspiring. Being blind is one of my biggest fucking fears in the world.
I agree. Yeah.
As well as being deaf.
Yeah.
I would give up taste before anything else, although that sucks too. Maybe
Yeah.
I'd give up. Well, see, the thing about giving up taste and smell is you kind of got to give up both because they're linked, right? You give up smell, taste is gone. You give up
Yeah.
taste, smell is gone. But I would give those up before I would give up sight or sound.
But you can learn so much
Maybe
more
touch.
being blind.
Yeah,
You
I
can
know.
learn so much more.
Like, and I think that's really cool and fascinating. I'm still fucking terrified of it, and I don't ever want to
Oh,
experience it.
for sure. Yeah.
But I think it's cool that like, and I have a friend who was born without his left thumb. So
My
he
God.
plays video games, but he learned to play video games like with his index finger on like the analog stick.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just adapt, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's just cool for humanity in general,
Yeah.
and it's a video game piece. This one is Sony registers trademark for Days Gone under games and online games. So Sony recently registered a trademark named Days Gone, filed under Class 9 for game software and Class 41 for online game software, according to the United States Patent and Trademark Office. As mentioned in the original report, Class 41 doesn't necessarily mean that it'll be an online game, as it is a required class for anything that has online features, including leaderboards and similar functions. So most games this day and age will be under Class 41 for online features.
Yeah.
Most have at least an online leaderboard or some sort of way to connect to the
Every
internet.
EA game.
It's interesting. Days Gone would sound to me like a post-apocalyptic game,
Yeah.
but that might not necessarily be what it is. What I'm curious about is, could this be the big Sony Bend game that we've been hearing a lot about? Sony Bend, who worked on Siphon Filter, and then they did Uncharted Golden Abyss for Vita. We know
Okay.
they've been working. Shuhei Yoshida has been talking about, he's played this game. Sony Bend is their biggest game ever.
Oh wow.
A lot of people really like Siphon Filter. They are working on a new game. It should be announced this year, presumably coming out this year, maybe next year, with Horizon Zero Dawn and all those big stuff. They don't need really any more exclusives this year.
Not really. No.
Everybody thought it was going to be announced at PlayStation Experience, and it wasn't.
Oh.
Could be a VR title, don't know. But it makes sense because these patents are usually filed shortly before an announcement happens.
Yeah.
So it's just cool. It's just nice to know there's another PlayStation exclusive coming out.
More.
Is it that Sony Bend game? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm sure in the next month or two we'll know a lot more.
We'll know about E3 for sure.
So the last topic we're gonna go into here real quick. January's PlayStation Plus titles revealed. Of course, we know this. We have them already at this point. But Hardware Revival. We're just gonna go. I just want your opinions on this.
Yeah, I haven't played Grim Fandango yet though.
So here's the full list. So you get Hardware Rivals on PS4, Grim Fandango Remastered on PS4, Dragon Age Origins PS3, Medal of Honor Warfighter PS3, Nihil Umbra on PS Vita, and Legends of War Patton on PS Vita. Now, for me, and see, people complain about the PlayStation Plus lineup all the time, and I'm always reading this online. No, it's fucking indie games here and all this kind of shit. I like that, personally.
They're fun.
Yeah. I think PlayStation Plus is still a great value.
Grow Home is my favorite indie game of last year for PlayStation Plus.
This month for me is one of the most underwhelming months for me personally. There's a lot of like war shooters on here, which I don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
I would be super psyched for Grim Fandango if it wasn't for the fact that I already bought it full price when it came out last January.
Yeah.
Haven't played through it yet. So it's like another fucking... I do that all the time. I'll buy a game and I won't play it. And then it'll be super cheap or free.
Yeah.
Dragon Age Origins is cool. Although that's a pretty old title for big full retail.
The story itself is amazing, and from what everyone's been telling me, that Dragon Age Origins is the better one out of all of them in terms of story.
I would go with Inquisition.
Really?
Well, maybe not in story, but just in terms of stuff. See, here's what I don't like about Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2 is I don't like the muddy, like, sort of texture and, like, fucking just gross
it's definitely
last
a dark
gen look of it.
It's a dark game.
I like the vibrant, colorful look of Inquisition. But for me, Dragon Age...
Something going on over there.
That car needs a fucking tune-up, dude.
He's doing it on purpose. It's like right outside the window.
You should really take that to an auto shop. I don't know if this will come up on the mic or not, but it is squealing like a motherfucker. It's like a fucking pig out there. Anyway, so I think, what was I saying? Yeah, so I like the colorful texture and that kind of stuff of Inquisition. I have Inquisition. I haven't played through Inquisition. It's one of those games, like the big open world games for me just get a little, like Fallout. They just get a bit overwhelming. And I'm like, I almost like smaller, more linear experiences. I'd rather play through 4 or 5 games than the amount of time it would take me to play through one big game a lot of times because I like variety. I do like big games, but I have to be in the right mood for them. And it's harder as I get older and have less time because I want more experiences. And
you're getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm also freshly single again.
Oh, there you go.
And don't have a job. So I have time to play video games right now. But, and then the Twitch stream, of course, is taking up a lot of that. So, but yeah, I'm more of the Mass Effect series anyway. I care way more about Mass Effect. So.
I played the first game and I couldn't get through the controls, so I stopped playing it. But from what I've seen with Mass Effect Andromeda, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that cinematic trailer.
I'm excited about Andromeda too. So yeah, your general thoughts. I liked last month's PlayStation. I thought getting SSX was pretty cool. Freedom Wars on Vita was a huge one. This is for December.
That was a big one, yeah.
Gauntlet Slayer Edition, King's Quest, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. I think last month was a stronger month in general than
King's Quest Episode 1, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of fucking weird.
That's what I didn't like.
But
I'm not really big on games by Telltale. I know it's not Telltale. It's Sierra, obviously. Probably not Sierra. I don't know. But it's another point-and-click game. I'm not really big on those, but I know for a fact that like King's Quest as a whole is an amazing game, whether it be story, gameplay, or not. But this month, though, definitely took me back with all the war games. Medal of Honor Warfighter was not a big selling game at all. The whatever tank one for PlayStation 4.
Oh, yeah, Hardware Rivals.
Hardware Rivals. I'm gonna have to get
I've
some
seen that all over the PlayStation Store. They're really pushing it, but
they're very pushing it. It reminds me a lot of Rocket League, but open world with battle tanks ish.
I mean, I'll check it out. It's free, so
it's definitely a neat game.
I'm one of those people that like, and I have friends, like a couple of my best friends will like, they just won't. Like I tell them all the time, I'm like, put every fucking PlayStation Plus game into your library. You don't have to download it, but just put it there. Yeah. Because you might want to come back to it someday. Well, and they won't do it. And they're like, no, if I'm not into it, I won't do it. And then we'll come back. We'll be like, oh, hey man, let's fucking play. What were we playing recently? Shit, the one where you put on the mask and you go around and you.
Puppeteer?
No, Payday.
Payday
Okay. 2. I was like, yeah, we'll play this sometime. Just it was free on PlayStation Plus. Put it in there.
Yeah.
So I did, And my one friend did, and my other friend didn't, because he won't. He's like, if I'm not interested, I'm not even going to put it in my library. It's like, just fucking put it there.
Yeah.
There is no downside to not putting it there.
It's in your library now.
Or there's no downside to putting it there. And so we went to go all play, and then he had to go out and buy the game for like $30. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
His name is Sean too.
Oh.
But not you.
Yeah.
You're
sounds
not the
like
person I'm talking about.
Sounds like a nice guy.
Yeah, Sean's are great. All Sean's are great. So yeah, but that's it. It's fine. I don't mind a month off from I don't need there to be huge titles that I personally care about every month for PlayStation Plus, because it takes a long time to fucking go through that backlog anyway.
Oh, definitely.
But now's a good time to catch up on games. January is pretty slow in general, so
yeah, it's slow month.
But yeah, I think that's about it.
I agree. With Glazed Soul, Warfighter was not a great game.
Yeah, so we'll take a couple minutes to go through some of the Twitch comments, and then I think we'll wrap it up. So let's see here. There was a comment.
Someone said they wanted Dead Space 3, and I agree with that. Dead Space.
Didn't Dead Space 3 already come out
4.
on PlayStation 4?
That's what I want. Never mind. Dead Space 4. I agree. I want another Dead Space game. Dead Space 3 wasn't that great, in my opinion. Dead Space 2 was the best Dead Space for me in terms of whether it be horror, whether it be story. There was just enough dialogue for Isaac. I played
Dead Space 2?
Dead Space 2, yeah. I played through that so many times. The only thing I couldn't do was the Zealot mode.
I felt Dead Space 2 lost some horror elements at the first one.
No, it was great.
Okay. Well, that's
no, I liked it.
Knowledge Max says, app games have changed things. All these new companies are trying to figure out how to get more money from us after selling us their $60 game instead of focusing on the game stability and content before release. That's why you feel like these developers are just bored with console gaming. I mean, seriously, what more can they do graphics-wise? That's a common argument that's all over the place. Microtransactions, stuff like that. I don't think it's nearly as rampant as people like to think it is. Mm-hmm. There are some games that use it. EA is a fan of that kind of stuff.
Lots.
But there are way more games that don't. There are way more you buy $60 to get a full experience.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of people lump in like DLC with that. DLC is different. Day one DLC, there are some games that like we've proven, yes, they held shit back.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of games will come out. They'll give you a full complete experience. They'll give you a 40-hour experience.
Witcher 3.
And then they'll be like, and here's some more stuff we worked on. You can buy this if you want. And people, again, it's this whole entitlement thing of like, oh, well, I shouldn't have to pay more for that. It's like, if you're getting a fucking 40 to 60-hour game already, fucking shut up, okay? That's more than enough for your $60, in my opinion.
Elder Scrolls Online.
Now, what happens in general is then you see games that, you get 300 hours, right? And it's like, okay, first of all, I think the whole $60 price, $70, $80 in Canada, but in general, the $60 price, I think, doesn't make any damn sense anyway. I think once games become more digital-based, you're going to see, a 10-hour game is going to be $20, and a 100-hour game maybe is going to be $90. But it'll make more sense.
Yeah.
Than this, like, standard, fit everything into a $60 price point.
Yeah, definitely.
But we'll see how things go. Other than that, Glazed Soul, you with the Warfront.
Remastered Dead Space 2. That's what I want. I would buy it. I know, going back to what we said, digital games, buying and rebuying games, I'd rebuy Dead Space 2 in a heartbeat. Except for another collector's edition. The collector's edition was a waste of money. You get a replica plasma cutter, and it was this big.
Yeah, I used to be into collector's editions, but so now I'm like, you know what? I want the standard game.
I'm so into them.
And I also like collector's editions are okay for things like the Joker statue I have from Batman.
That's pretty big. Yeah,
that's a fucking amazing collectible.
Yeah,
I like statue stuff like that. I actually don't like steelbooks anymore. I used to think steelbooks are cool, but now I like the games to like on my shelf right there. I like them to all look uniform. I have steelbooks. Steelbooks are fine. I like steelbooks more for movies than for video games.
I'd rather both. But steelbooks more for my games.
Fine. That's great. Yeah. That's fine. What I don't like about collector's editions, especially movies, like fucking Breaking Bad came out and you put all the discs into like a fucking barrel drum.
Yeah.
That doesn't fucking fit on my shelf with the rest of my Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And some games do stuff like that too, but
yeah.
But that's about it. So I think that pretty much wraps up. I want to do a closing segment. We'll add some more segments in as we go in the future. But for this one, I thought for level 38 we could build a sort of top 50 kind of game recommendations that we'll do over the next 50 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was like, I can't
So
do
of
that
like
now.
our personal top, so we'll do one game per week.
Mhm.
We'll each add one game per week.
Sure.
So you'll have your top 50, I'll have my top 50.
Okay.
And basically these will be sort of like, over the next while we'll figure this out, and these would be like, because people ask me all the time, like, what are your favorite games, blah blah blah. I'm sure you get that a lot too.
Yep.
So this will be kind of a list that we can build and say, okay, this is what we've done over this time, and what sort of our top 50 games of all time are. And these aren't necessarily absolute, but just kind of what they do. So do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I can't really think of one off the top of my head, so since it's 50, I'll say, going back to a couple months ago, Grow Home.
Grow Home?
Independent game, amazing, really fun. It could take you about, if you take your time to get all the trophies, it'll take you about 5-6 hours to beat. Or you can just blitz right through it and kind of climb your way through. You're a little robot. You're just examining the land. You like plant seeds to plant other seeds, and
It was free on PlayStation
yeah,
Plus too.
and
so.
it expands. It was really
Did you
cool.
vote for that game?
I did.
I voted for that game.
Yeah, and that was the only time they ever did a voting for a game.
I know.
And
It
they need
sounded
to go
like they
back
were
to
going to
that.
do it every month, and they're
Yeah.
like, nope, 1 month and fuck it.
And they were like, "Oh, well, we didn't want to pick that one, so we're not doing this anymore."
I assume it was probably a licensing fucking nightmare.
Probably.
In terms of figuring out who was going to be free and who was going to get a discount and all this shit. So,
Yeah.
it's probably an experiment. But cool. Yeah, with 50 games, you know, it's not going to be that hard to figure out some in the beginning. When you get down to less titles, you're going to have to really think about it.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm going to throw out Danganronpa for PlayStation Vita, the first one. Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc.
Yep.
That game is absolutely fantastic. I only played it for the first time this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'd heard great things about it.
Me too.
I got the sequel because they were on sale for like $16 each digitally. So I got the first, I got the sequel, and I just got Danganronpa, another episode, Altered Despair Girls.
Yep.
Which I'm currently streaming on Twitch as well. With everything else, it's also Zelda month this month, so I'm trying to fit everything into the Twitch stream. But Danganronpa just caught me by fucking surprise at how amazing it is, and it is definitely up there in one of my top favorite franchises of all time.
Wow.
I can't wait for more. Danganronpa 3 got announced for PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4 last year. So
anime series also got announced.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that. So absolutely, I would wholeheartedly recommend, if you have a Vita or a PlayStation TV, it's playable on either.
Yep.
Fucking pick up. It's harder to find physically. It's going to cost you more, but buy it digitally. It's like $40, or it goes on sale. Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. Wholeheartedly recommend it. So that's my first title into the 50. These are in no particular order. What we'll do is, once we build the list, maybe at the end of the year, then we can like rank them.
Yeah, we could.
But there you go. So yours is Grow Home. Mine is Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. So there you go. First titles for level 38's top 50.
Top 50
each. So it's really like top 100. But
okay.
Well, you get a top 50, I get a top 50.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. And if we have more guests on the show or whatever, we'll figure it out. Anyway. That's basically that. So yeah, thank you for being here, Sean. Again, you are at Smash Spite on Twitter. I am Will Wood at Will J Wood on Twitter. And you can follow the podcast at Level 38 Podcast on Twitter.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're looking at the overlay to try to. It's a little lower. It's down here. No, there.
Oh, there. Wait, I'll sync it. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also in the future, if anybody listening to this on the audio or video podcast, if you have things you want to discuss or topics or questions you want to put into the show, tweet them at Level 38 Podcast, and we'll try to get those into the future shows. So that's where we'll build the audience interaction. Of course, we're always going to try to stream this live on Twitch, and we will have some Twitch comments as well.
Yes. Sounds like a good idea.
Cool. One last thing we'll say, Knowledge Mac. I've managed a retro video game shop for 16 years. We have all games from Atari 2600 to PS4, so I've seen the change in how companies do marketing and treat us gamers over the years. Sounds like he's got some insight there from a retailer perspective.
Yeah.
Cool.
Makes sense. We have a couple of independent sellers here down in the Vancouver area.
Yeah, that's right. We are from Vancouver, BC.
Yeah, they're pretty knowledgeable about everything. They say they get pretty jaded after a while, so I can relate to that.
And Glazed Soul ends with cool. I am just a cynical asshole.
Yeah. All right.
And on that note, we will end
And
Level
this-
38, the first pilot episode of Level 38.
It was pretty good.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I think it was good. It seems like the Twitch audience was interacted.
Yeah.
They liked it too. So
Yeah,
cool.
For all we know. Yeah.
So we'll see you next week.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right.
I'm going to do this every week.
I'll do my best.
If you're not here, I'll have to do it by myself or get other people in. But we'll try.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
We'll do our best.
All right.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.